Abend. So great to see everyone here tonight on this side of the microphone and also on this side of the microphone. We've been through, we've been through something, and there were these thoughts that perhaps something as festive and as important as this would not happen, or would be a long time before it happened. And seeing you all here and being with these incredible musicians this past week has given me incredible hope and joy. And I hope we can give you some goosebumps tonight, and hope and joy as well with the music that we're playing. Thank you all for being here tonight. It's incredible. Since I feel that all music, whether it's small group jazz, big band, classical music, folk music of all kinds, is really a conversation between the participants, and hopefully a conversation between the participants and the listeners. And so I wrote a piece, there are 5 movements, trying to describe a rather vibrant, raucous, sometimes argumentative conversation. And in order to do that, I felt it was necessary to divide the band up into opinionated groups. And that also meant that they would be mixed instrument groups. And this group here, these 5 wonderful musicians, are very thoughtful, and they're flexible. And they can hear ideas and start thinking about them in different ways, discuss among themselves, and then come to a conclusion as a group. And in this very thoughtful group, we have Lisa Schdick on trombone, Klaus Stütter on the trumpet, and flute, alto saxophone, Fiete Welsch, the trumpet and flugelhorn, and he knows his parts in all keys. I just found out he's practiced them in all keys. You can give us a demonstration after the concert, perhaps. Florian Menzel. And on the clarinet and tenor saxophone, Julius Govlek. fine group over here is very thoughtful and very accepting of, you know, all sorts of ideas, but they have a very hard time coming to a group conclusion. And they argue among themselves and kind of perhaps all have very valid and enlightened points, but they just can't seem to come to agreement as a group. And of course, as I'm describing this, these groups could be individuals that have these many different elements going on. That's why this is somewhat interactive, because we've all been in conversations and we've all had to contemplate on difficult and sometimes stressful things, sometimes joyous things, but these are the things that I feel a conversation between differing opinionated people or groups kind of entails. And in this group, we have Luigi Grasso on the bass clarinet, alto and soprano saxophones, Peter Bolta, Dan Gottschall on the trombone, and on the trumpet, flugelhorn, Stefan Weinberg. Conversation needs the obstinate, kind of very firm type people who are inflexible and believe what they believe to the end. And that's the middle group. And the job of these two groups is to try to make them a little more flexible. And I'd like to introduce this is only in this piece, not in real life, of course. Stefan Lauderman on the trombone. And the saxophone, Frank Denle. Torsten Beckenstein on the trumpet. And, Ingo Lammer on the bass trombone and tuba. Section, of course, is always mixed instruments, and they're serving kind of as the moderator when one of these groups gets out of hand. And I'd like to introduce them to you. Sandra Hempel on the guitar. On the piano, Florian Weber. Ingmar Heller on the bass. On percussion, Marcio Doctor. And on the drums, Yukis Uttala.
I'm really enjoying this week with the production with Tim's music. I haven't been playing on the record. That was another guitar player, and when I was preparing a little bit for this, I already found it very interesting because it's kind of different from what we were doing in the past, let's say, month, the other programs we were playing, and so it's very refreshing for me because it has a very strong jazz. How I say it's rooted in jazz, and it has a very special power in itself. That's how I perceived it, and it's especially nice because from day to day things are getting more, let's say, kind of coming out for me, like the different layers and the different groups we are playing in, and it's like a kind of blooming process for me and being part in, which is great, and there's so much to discover, like melodies, harmony-wise, but also who is with whom, who is against whom in the group. And funny enough, I mean, Tim doesn't know about that probably. I'm not sure. We were already joking a little bit that in a way he hits a nail, or you say like the nail with a hammer. Because of course we have a lot of group processes going on, and a lot of discussions within the band and band meetings, and so this whole idea of people forming opinions together, other people talking against, and then at the end there's one big solution, and then it's again a different opinion coming on it. It quite reflects, I would say, the situation in the band also. So in a way it feels, I mean, it's not meant to be, but a little bit group therapy-ish. I'm enjoying it a lot. So and Tim is a great guy having in front of the band. I mean, conducting wise, as a human being, like what he's talking about, and as a player. So I'm very happy.
G, for the whole band, there's, this theme going on. They're expressing the fact that, they're a group, and they're actually in agreement on this 8-note line. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Wait,
6.
Should I not play that? Because that's...
Yeah, but here's what I'm thinking. It's a drastic thing because all of a sudden, the rhythm section, not the drums, they have this little comment. You're saying, like, what are you guys talking about? I was doing this, but I was grooving, and then you guys come interrupt me with this stuff. So that's the point of you guys coming in with that 7-bar phrase, and you guys drop out.
I'm in a G.
But it will help if, like, 2 beats before G, if you set G up.
Yeah.
Because
everybody comes in on 2.
No, the end of, some people come in on 2, some on the end of 1.
But also there's 1, 2, 3, ba-da-ba. What?
I'm sorry?
At the end of 1.
At the end of 1.
Yeah, ba-da-ba.
Oh, okay.
2, 3, 4, 1. Ba-da-ba-ba.
Yeah.
everybody's talking on top of each other, and you're trying to pick who to listen to. Good luck. The way you guys are playing this is just incredible. I mean, you know, it's like I said yesterday, it's like one person that has all these four timbres. Yeah, it's a delight to listen to. F, 2 by 1, 2, 1,
The band really likes playing with Tim. We love performing with Tim. We have a very good connection to Tim Hagans over the years. It's a big band. It's a big band. It's a big band built as a big band of soloists. And Tim Hagans is, as a trumpet player, a fantastic, interesting soloist. I think there's a lot of respect from us. That's one of the reasons we have a lot of respect for him. Additionally, interesting, he started off as a really, you know, in a big band, as a big band trumpet player, and here he is after so many years. He's writing big band, but of course he's really come, you know, he's taken big band music a long way away from what he used to do, and it fits what we like to do the best. Here in Europe, I mean, it's just a fact. A lot of the stuff we do is, a lot of the writers are coming from a classical direction, and they're writing jazz or improvised music. That's always good. I really like very much that we have somebody who's coming from a jazz. It's you know, we've got some wild lines to play. A lot of them, I believe, are his lines, but he's written them and composed them for a big band. But the whole time, it's no matter what, how modern it is and how unique it is, it's really coming from a jazz direction. So that's what I love the most about the piece.
adventure of this conversing with each other. And now it's like, this is actually what we really think. And we're in concert, we actually believe kind of what we thought at the beginning, but we had to discuss all this stuff in parts 2, 3, and 4, and then we've come to this incredible decision, and that's the energy I feel, and the two tempos are different too. But when I'm thinking about this, that's what I'm feeling, that now this is what we think. And then of course Luigi throws the wrench in the bicycle tire and says, well, we may be in agreement, but that last note, And there is that last note in in part 1 with 3 people, but it's a little more hidden. The meaning isn't quite so clear. It's like, in there it means, well, we have more to discuss. But here it's like we've come to this conclusion at this meeting, and he's the lone standout saying, I don't know if I agree with everything, So even though the 2 sections are exactly the same notation-wise, it's a different vibe in both things. And I'm only kind of emphasizing this because it is a section that serves as the ending to this whole suite.
Would be nice if you remember the faster the better for us.
Yeah, right. Eucus, the faster the better. At G. Boo, 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 Yeah. Cool. Okay.
Worked with Tim for a long time, also on various other projects. He's a great writer and great conductor, and it's a very special project this time because for various reasons. First of all, it's a different setup of the band musicians, and the difference is that we don't sit in the usual sections, but it's other groups put together. So people are sitting next to other people that they normally sit next to. It's kind of like in the school, after vacation, if the teacher comes in and says, well, guess what? In the last row, people, they're going to come up front, and then there's a big surprise. Oops, I never sat next to this person. But it has a nice effect because you have to readjust your tone color, readjust also the phrasing, of course, because you play with different people. And I always like Tim as a player, very interesting player. Comes up with like lines that are really pretty out there sometimes and really very hip, but always swinging. He has a concept of really making abstract lines kind of feel pretty jazzy, normal, quote. And so this is also happening in this music, which creates a lot of swinging energy. Which you can also hear in various solo passages of the whole band, and sometimes there are also like big orchestral impressionistic colors that give a full like a truly tonal sound to it, and then it changes back into sometimes also like atonal stuff, and I think the idea behind that was also to create like different atmospheres for conversations, and some of the conversations are the solo parts, some of the conversations are the written parts, and it's very interesting. I also have to play kind of an extended blues solo on this project with this, which I think is nice to kind of get also kind of a stanky down home blues feel to it. On this project we work together with fantastic Eucus Uttila. I think also a very good friend of Tim's. They've been working a lot together. Fantastic Finnish drummer. Yeah, and what also I'd like to sum up and add is some of this writing creates a special atmosphere for the soloing people, So and after a while of rehearsing, you really get into this mindset of the music, and also of course of the mindset from Tim, and I think it's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward after this last rehearsal today for the performance tomorrow in Hanover, and we're also going to play another concert in Hamburg 2 days after that.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun this week working on the project. We've done the record, as you know. We've worked with Tim before, different conceptions, different constructions. This time, once again, it has his signature, I feel, and it feels really comfortable for us to make this music together. One of the things I love the most is this navigation between structure and freedom, and we have both in this piece, and so it feels super comfortable, and it's challenging and exciting at the same time. And regarding working with Yuki's, again, we've worked for many years already together, so there is a lot of trust, and I see this line of connection between me and Yuki's, of course, taking care of business in the rhythm section, and then of course to the leader of the whole project, which is Tim, and there is also a lot of knowledge, long time knowledge and trust between us and this connection. So that feels really, really good. That gives us the foundation to explore, go to places, and come back.
I met Tim in 1987, I think, the first time we did a little jam session in New York. And then the next year, in 1988, we started touring in Sweden together with some Swedish musicians. And it's been a love affair since, you know. Tim is really an original as a trumpet player. His language, his improvisational language is really something that I'd never heard anybody else do, really. It's a chromatic concept that comes from the historical forefathers, but it's his own unique take on it. And that's what really caught my ear in the beginning. And we've been working in different constellations and situations through the years, lots of small group, but then also some of these big band projects where Tim brings his own music, and it's beautifully written and it's very unique. His writing is also really it has its own stamp, and in the beginning years, I think it was coming more from his trumpet playing, and he translated that to the orchestra. But I think in recent years, in the last couple of decades, it's turned into this more compositional kind of thing where he doesn't feature himself so much as a soloist, but instead writes for the band and really works with the colors and sounds of the orchestra more. There's some playing in between, some nice improvisational sections where we really get to stretch out, but it's a little more, compositional and orchestral nowadays. What I really love is his sense of form, how he puts things together, and he controls the long form in a really beautiful way. The way he writes and these little improvisational bits that he puts in between, they always have a meaning in the big picture. They serve the whole beautifully, and I really admire that, because that's something that's hard to do for a lot of people, because when you write in small, bits and pieces. You have small, little ideas here, a little there, and then you orchestrate something, and then, but then putting it together is really the test for everybody, and he does that so beautifully. It's really wonderful to play his pieces always.
Thank you for being here to converse with us, and we hope you enjoy our conversation in a conversation. Thank you so much.
the amazing, the incredible NDR Bigband. Thank you. Thank you so much. You're all amazing. Thank you. NDR Bigband.
amazing musicians. It means so much, and I'm gonna hold the tears back because I'm embarrassed to cry in public, but your response in the way these great musicians all played, it's an incredible experience. I'm back. We rehearsed, had very lively discussions even about the music, and tried to prepare an encore. We even tried playing the whole piece backwards and up or down an octave depending on the difficulty of the instrument, but we just didn't get to that. So our encore is to say an incredibly large, heartfelt thanks to all of you for coming here tonight and listening to us, supporting live music, and you're all amazing. Thank you so much, and hope to see you soon again. Thank you.